Now, generally, on the last day of the Kagyu Melam, there is a kind of a special teaching or special instruction or a special talk. That tradition is there, so I have to make that talk. I have nothing to say which I have not said before. Whatever I say is something that I have said before. Because you have heard it before, so therefore if you think that it's just something that he used to say all the time and then leave it aside, that's not good, that's not right. The important things need to be said again and again. Even if I have nothing to say other than whatever I had already said, but please give me the permission to say it again. First, I have to say thank you. There are few words to say thank you. That's the 30th Kagyu Melam has gone quite well, and that is because there are many causes and effects, various causes and effects. It's not just made by one person. It's not just because of one cause and one condition. Many different causes, many hundreds and many thousands of causes, conditions come together, and many people work together, and that's why the result happens. So on this occasion, it's very fit that I should thank. It's very important to be grateful. It's not only written in the text, but it's understood from my own experience. It's really an experience that to be grateful is very. If you can understand how to be grateful, then without too much causes and conditions, you can naturally be happy, naturally be satisfactory. If you can't be grateful, then whatever happens, then you cannot find happiness, you cannot have joy, you cannot have wellness in yourself. It's very difficult. That's why being grateful is important for those who want to have happiness and joy. That's very, very important. That's what I think. That's why first, so all those who are organizing from the high to the lowest people who have contributed to organize this 30th Kagyu Melam, I would like to thank them all. Every year we make a little bit different. I'm trying to make it a little different each time, and I think it will be very difficult for those who are organized, because this person is trying to create problems every time because he's doing something new. But they all thought very widely, and so they made great efforts with body, speech, and mind. So therefore, I would like to thank all of them. Then the Kagyu Melam, mainly is the Sangha which gathered from all the four directions, and that's usually we call it Kagyu Sangha Melam. Whether Kagyu Melam happens or not is whether this ordained assembly of Sangha, whether they are there or not, makes whether we have a Kagyu Melam or not. So therefore, all these Sanghas have come from very far away places from all directions, and you have tried with your best efforts and with your best aspirations and positive aspirations. So you did this prayers and dedication. That's something is something very a cause of happiness and joy for all of us, and especially Sabji Jambu Rinpoche, Samje Jasa Rinpoche, Suma Kawa Rinpoche, and then Kaya Rinpoche Loduta, and Kaya Rinpoche, and all the Tulkus and Kempus, all of you are very busy. Have like your activities are like the waves of the ocean, but you made it very important here, and then you actually came here, you actually prayed here. So therefore, from the depth of my heart, I have to thank all of you. Long time ago, before 500 years ago, the Kamapa Chidak Jansu in the Kanchan Melam Chempo, in the great, there were many people of different languages, and there were lots of people from different tribes or different countries. So they have actually made prayers that this prayer has come into the effect. And so there are lots of people from all different countries and all parts of the world. They have spent all their money. They have spent lots of money, and they've gone through lots of difficulties, and they've come here. They have also contributed by trying to help. They have helped, and others. They have sponsored, and many others. They have sat there and actually prayed together with us. So all of them, all the different people from all over the world came together on this very auspicious and very blessed place, and what all of us are saying that we want peace of the world, and we want happiness for all the sentient beings. We have same intention, same wish. So we have actually showed this. We have actually expressed this, that we have no difference in wanting peace and well-being to the people. So I would like to thank all of them. And then and this kind of Melam, when it started, when we have this, they celebrate this Dharma activity. This because the Buddha Dharma is present. Actually, the Buddha Dharma cannot be divided, or there is no sections or anything like that. But we are kind of followers of generally the Tibetan Buddhist school. The Tibetan Buddhism is from Tibet, and then the same Dharma and same culture, and we have same teachings and same culture. The Himalayan beings, so they have lots of Himalayan people have come here. So they have come with great aspiration, and so they have come here to pray, and then we also came together and prayed together, and we have established a great kind of devotion and also samaya and a great love and affection to each other. So thank all of them, the people from Himalayas. There are lots of people I have to thank. So I might forget some of them because there are so many people that I have to ask, express my thanks. Usually we say that to all those who are worthy of worthy of vows, worthy of salutation. I make salutations in the same way. I thank all the people. Then there are one or two things to say, whether you call it my opinion or my advice or whatever you want to call it. Sometimes in Tibetan, a few words can become many words also. And so you have to think this way. The first one is, before the Malam, we had this Kagyu, Gunchoe, the winter study of the Dharma. What is Kagyu, Gunchoe? All the Kagyu Shedas, these study centers, they came together for about 1 month. So they discussed, they debated on different texts and treatises of Buddhism. So they made lots of Dharma activities at that time. Then we had a conference. That conference was on the Vinaya. Why we needed to do this? The Buddha, whether the teaching of the Buddha still exists or not, is whether there are this Vinayas, 4 principal activities of Vinaya or not. So this is something that is, it has nothing to do with the lay people. It's only for the, whether the Buddhism or Buddha Dharma exists in the world or not, depends, it is said, whether these 3 principal activities of the Sangha or not. So therefore, whether in the monasteries, they have these 3 principal activities, but a little bit different from each other. So some of them they don't even observe. Some of the things they do, I feel, is not according to the Vinaya. So whatever is according to the Vinaya, what is not according to the Vinaya, that it's very important to clarify. So we had a discussion on this. So it became very well. The discussion became very well. It's not enough just to discuss. We have to put it into practice. For few days we just talking is not, and then if you don't use it in practice, then it's not useful. That's why. So I have said to these Shedas, people of the monasteries, that so what we have. So even if we can make one step forward in practicing this, what we have discussed, we must do it. If you just let it be, then the Buddha teaching will fall off, will end, or will. So therefore, we started to practice. What we have to practice now in Shedas. Some of them do this summer retreat, earlier summer retreat. Some of them do later summer retreat. So all the monasteries should do the first year, the early year. Everybody has to earlier summer retreat. Everybody should do, and if that could not be done, then you can do it the later summer retreat. All the Shedas, even if all the monastery could not do it, at least all the Shedas should do. This is not just my opinion. This is the general opinion, and usually people do 1.5 months of summer retreat. Usually, although they promise to be in summer retreat for 3 months, but actually they do the retreat only for 1.5 months. So So this Gaya or this, so if it is said that if due to some reason then you cannot stay longer, then you can kind of stop. Then you can stop after 1.5 months. Therefore, this is a little bit problematic. So this is to stopping the summer retreat becomes so therefore we need to do the summer retreat for all 3 months, and this is very good because it's all very good that because the Setawas can also have a continuous class, and so they can, so for 3 months every year in the summer they can do 3 months. That will be very good. So everybody kind of shook their head. I think they said yes. Yes. So this, and then slowly, all the monasteries also step by step that Yarne or the summer retreat or Sojong, I think they should all make it like in one way, you know. So this Yarne, if we can do the 3 months, the summer retreat, that's very good. We start with the Sheda because that's easier to do. That's what I thought, we thought. While you are in the summer retreat, then so there are lots of so all the kind of rules and regulations that we have during the Kagyu Malam, we will put it there also. We will use the same thing, but these rules and regulations we have during Kagyu Malam, we feel as if it's not necessary generally, or that's not like that. These are the rules and regulations that the monks and nuns should keep all the time. It's not just for the Malam, but each monastery they should observe, and this will be very useful for all the Sangha members who are observing it. So therefore, during the summer retreat, they should do it according to the rules and regulations that we have in the Kagyu Malam. That is the first. This is the first point out of 3 points I have. This is the first point. The second point is to do with education. During the discussion, so we try to know what are the opinions of the general monks. What is their situation? What is their opinion? We don't know. Nobody knew, and therefore the heads, if they don't understand the opinion of the general monks or general assembly of, then it's very difficult to. Then somebody is called the head of the school, but he doesn't know what exactly happening to the people, to the monks, to the whole, Dharma followers. So therefore, I gave this chance for everybody to give their opinions, and they gave lots of opinions, and most of them are related with education. And I also gave my own opinion. So there are 2 different kind of people. One is male and one is female. And the Buddha talked about 4 types of followers. 4 followers. That is a Gelong and Gelong Ma, the Upasaka and female Upasaka. These are they are called the pillars of the teaching of the Buddha. So if the Buddha's teaching is the house, then all these 4 pillars has to be there. Otherwise, the teaching of the Buddha doesn't exist or doesn't become stable. It is not fully, there. That's why. So, male and female Sangha members and male and female, non-monastic followers. These 2 very important to educate them. So the study, reflection and practice of these 4 different groups. So because of the culture or different of some old kind of, so then old traditions, we kind of, to the women or to the females, we kind of little bit treat slightly differently, and that's not good. The Buddha gave the full opportunity to all of them, men as well as women, and this we need to give this opportunity, and the people also should take that opportunity because the Buddha gave that opportunity, and so we should completely do that. So let us not, we have to, in the Kampang, there are many nunneries, India, Nepal and Bhutan, there are many nunneries, some nunneries. In these nunneries, they have usual practices. They are not very much Shedas or the study practices, not very little bit, but not so much advanced, not like all the opportunities that the monks have. They don't have that. They don't have all the facilities that the monks have. So therefore, we must give a complete, we must make all the efforts to give complete facilities and opportunities to these nuns as we monks have, and we monks have to help them to establish that. It's not just kind of saying, you have to do, you have to do. Other than, so we give a certain, we have to give a certain time. So on 2013 we should start, and on the 14th, 2014, then all these nuns should come together, and then whether we call it winter gathering or spring gathering, whatever, they can debate or they can discuss. This is what we have decided. How they will study, I don't know, but we will have a gathering of the nuns in 2014, wherever I will also come myself. I don't know where. All the nuns have to come together, and then whatever may be, they have to debate. They have to study. They have to discuss. Debating, discussion of the teachings of the Buddha and treatises. It's not just saying that it's not enough that they have to do it. I have to make the plans and organize how to do that. So especially before these nunneries all go away, we have to make a meeting, and then we have to decide how to do, what can I do to help, in what way we can do it. We have to make a meeting, and we have to decide and discuss. Generally or basically, we have to improve the education of the nuns is very important. His Holiness Dalai Lama also takes lots of responsibilities about that, and many great masters of all schools also take responsibility, and so we should also, it is important that we should also take some responsibility, and then the nuns may think that all these monks are just talking, and then they give a lot of troubles to us. Maybe they can think like that. That's not there's no other way. We have to do that. That's the second point I have. Then the third point is, that's also connected with education. Generally in India, the Nalanda and the great universities, maybe they were not, there was no kind of special Shedda and special Dubda for retreat place. The Sheddawas who are just studying but not practicing, the Dubdas who are practicing but not studying, maybe they were not like that. And later on, when the Buddha teachings become a little bit deteriorated, then they couldn't do this practice and study put together. They just, because they couldn't do both together, so they established Shedda as a separate, they established Dubda as, and today there is something called Chokda, who are just doing the prayers. And then they are also complaining about the Sheddawas, and the Sheddawas are complaining about the Sodas. That's not good. It is said that it's very clear that the Buddha teaching has to be preserved by study as well as practice. And if this both practice and study are not there together, then the Buddha teachings or the Dhamma is deteriorated. So therefore, this has to go together. So in the Sheddas also, one needs to put some practice. One has to practice. One has to put together. That's very bad. Sometimes in Sheddas, when they have some prayers or some practices, they don't like it. That's not good. So in the general monasteries, there's not much study, and this is very important. So even if nothing special, they have to study like Bodhikaya Avatara or Jasi Lalang, the Bodhisattva's practices, or some of them. In Rumtek last year, we started some kind of a new plan. We started to give some study of some treatises of Buddhist philosophy. So I said that only rituals, only kind of accept rituals and things like that. If you don't understand anything, that's not good. The recitations and all the music and all these rituals, if you understand why they do it, that's very good. But then if you don't understand why you do it, but you just do it just because it's a tradition, that's not good. The Vajrayana practice is not that easy. It has to be with creation and completion together. It is not just something recitation. It's not just a recitation. It's not just a tradition. So therefore, you need to have some understanding. If the understanding is not there, then it can't become a real practice, true practice. So therefore, in the monasteries, we must have to study some kind of important treatises. So how to do that? How to bring some education in the general monasteries is very important. Otherwise, in the long run, there will be lots of deterioration. So from my side, how to put it into practice, and also the head of the monasteries, it is very important that you have to think about it. My main thing is, the main 3 points are this. I've already said these 3 points. Other than that, I have nothing much to say.